Hi, my name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to New Light Streaming Love and Sassy Seer Sheila. This is another writing from Jason Gray. It is titled The Birth Certificate Spell, How the System Claimed Your Soul Before You Took Your First Breath. Now, if you've followed this channel, or me, I should say, for any amount of time, then you especially from Conscious Conversation Central days, then you will at least be in part aware already in regards to the birth certificate and what it is and what it isn't. So let's see what Jason has to say about it here. Before you ever spoke a word, before your lungs filled with breath, before your mind even had a thought to think, they named you. They numbered you. They claimed you. They called it birth. What really happened on that day was not the celebration of life. It was the registration of property, the beginning of a contractual illusion that would bind you silently, legally, energetically to a false identity in a system that sees you not as flame, but as collateral. Birth was never the beginning, it was the transfer. From the moment of conception, you were sacred, a spark, a sovereign flame descending into form. From the moment your head crowned through the birth canal, you entered commerce. You weren't, quote, born. You were delivered. That word matters. In the world of legal sorcery and commercial law, quote, delivery doesn't just mean a baby. It means the transfer of goods. Cargo. You were recorded on paper, given a serial number, filed into a registry, and assigned a fictional persona through which all your actions, value, debts, and worth would be measured. Your parents were not told this. They thought they were protecting you. In truth, they signed you away. Not knowingly, not maliciously, but through a ritual so embedded in society that not one in a million questions it. The birth certificate. What the birth certificate really is. It is not a celebration. It is a financial instrument, a bond. Just like a stock, a deed, or a futures contract, your certificate is printed on bond paper with a serial number and tracked through the Bureau of Vital Statistics, which is not just a government archive, but a hub of human capital management. Think that it's just paperwork? Ask why the original certificate is held by the state. Ask why your name appears in all caps on all legal documents. Ask why governments, banks, and courts don't recognize the living being, only the legal fiction created in its name. This isn't freedom. It's paper-caged sovereignty. The straw man and the split. This is the split no one sees. The living sovereign soul, the fictional entity created at birth. Systems do not speak to the soul. They speak to the straw man. All caps. social insurance number, driver's license, tax file, bank account, everything tied to the contractual shell, not to the real being inside. The moment the living one begins to believe that they are the fiction, the system wins. A soul that identifies as property can be managed, taxed, imprisoned, regulated, tracked, and owned. How the energy is harvested. This is not symbolic. Your attention, your labor, your belief, they all fuel the system through your agreement with the fiction. Every paycheck, every legal interaction, every time you answer to the name without knowing it was never truly yours, you validate the contract. That validation empowers the machine. You are the engine, the product, the offering, not by force, by default. Silence is consent, the hidden law of the system. You never signed your birth certificate. The system does not care. Silence is consent. As long as you continue to live in the role, using the name, obeying the laws, submitting the forms, you feed the bond. You are not asked to love the system. You are just required to play along. Most do. They have been conditioned to believe there is no other way. This is not a theory. It is the skeleton of civilization. This is not fringe. It is the foundation. All caps equals corporate identity. Bond paper equals financial instrument. Maritime law equals commercial control of flesh. Legalese equals the language of sorcery dressed as law. The world is not governed by democracy. It is governed by contracts. Nearly every soul has one, silent, invisible, legally binding from birth, until one dares to break it. How to begin severing the spell. This does not mean going off grid. It doesn't mean legal war. It means remembering what you are. A name is not you. A number is not you. A certificate is not you. Start asking, who am I when I drop the label? Who speaks when I don't answer to the fiction? Who stands when all the forms are ash? And then begin walking as flame again. Stop being a citizen. Start being a presence. Stop being a number. Start being sovereignty. Stop performing the role. Start burning through it. You were never theirs. The birth certificate did not bind your soul. It bound your mind. Your flame inside has never agreed. It waited. It watched. It endured. Now it remembers. You are not the name. You are not the role. You are not the contract. You are the flame that dissolves the system. No piece of paper can claim ownership of a soul that finally knows what it is. Not born into bondage, but arrived to burn the fiction down. Wow. That is phenomenal. I love the way he wrote that. Those of you, again, who have followed me since the days of Conscious Conversation Central, you are very aware that this is all very true. For those of you that are not aware, maybe it's time to take a look into it. Until we meet again, be well, my friends. Mwah.